Moment Fox News first declared Biden the winner of Arizona, the state had been a main focus of Trump's election conspiracies. And this latest indictment against Donald Trump details his team's efforts to convince Arizona's House Speaker to force the state red. The scheme has had lasting effects in Arizona, and it's impacted public trust in elections. In last year's midterms, election deniers won their Republican primaries, but they lost the general election in all of the state's top positions. I'm talking governor, attorney general, and secretary of state. So how is the Grand Canyon state navigating a shaken faith in democracy? And how could this indictment be a step toward rebuilding it? Well, I've got the perfect person joining me now, Arizona Secretary of State Adrian Fontes. Good to see you, sir. Your office was actually subpoenaed by the special counsel earlier this summer. What was the nature of that communication?
Well, it was the second of two subpoenas that we had. The first last December. We complied with that during the beginning of my term. And then the one in May actually went to an outside law firm that had been representing the secretary's office during that time. A couple of cases had been litigated through this office, and they were looking for a lot of the communications in the discovery from those cases. That's a whole bunch of evidence that's pulled together in a case that may not make it into trial, but it's sort of the overall paints the picture behind the scenes. So the Justice Department was looking for a lot of that information. We made sure everything got turned over, and looks like it may have played a little part in building this case.
I'm assuming you have had an opportunity to read the indictment. Did anything in there surprise you?
No, it didn't. You know, we've been paying close attention to the January 6th committee hearings in Congress. And hey, look, you know, we know all of the players here. Stephen Richer, my successor at the county recorder's office, Bill Gates at the Maricopa County's Board of Supervisors, Rusty Bowers, you know, all of these folks are personally familiar to me. It's a tight group of folks around here who've been fighting this fight and standing for the American voter. And we run into each other here and there. So nothing in the indictment surprised us. I think the only thing that was surprising for me was that it took so long to get it out.
Yeah, you know, you are not new to elections, if you will, in Arizona. As you just noted, you did formerly serve as the county recorder in Maricopa County, largest county in Arizona. And so I'm just wondering, you know, the Arizona Republic, they have this reporting that says that at least 17 officials that are tasked with overseeing elections have quit since 2020. And that 3 of Arizona's 15 counties now have critical vacancies. The state legislature denied your request for more funding to train new officials. You have continuously voiced concerns about election officials having to learn on the job. You come at this having had, you know, very firsthand experience. So what exactly is your plan then to shore up Arizona's election infrastructure? Because there is an election next year.
Yeah, well, and it's widespread. I mean, 12 of our 15 counties have lost either an elected recorder or an election director in the last couple of years. That kind of institutional knowledge is critical because elections are different than anything else in government. You've got one deadline that does not get extended. It's been analogized to throwing a wedding reception, and every detail has to be perfect, and every person who walks in the door is a member of the wedding party, if not the bride. So you've got to be perfect every single time. So it's tough work. Experience matters, and we don't have the experience that we used to have. But our office has garnered a whole team of folks from Arizona. Some of those former election officials at the counties have come to work for us in various offices, and we're ready to assist all of the new folks coming in. We are currently going through election officer certification training. We will have retraining for all of the officers who've been around in the fall. And we are looking for other partners to bring in some of the other areas to really help where we can. But we have some limitations in the entire budget process, not just the legislature, but everyone involved in the budget process sort of came up short for us. But we're gonna persist.
Mr. Secretary, what keeps you up at night about next year's election?
Well, there's a couple things that keep me up at night. Number one, I don't know what I don't know about generative artificial intelligence and the impact that those technologies might have. We don't know what we don't know about the potential for violence in certain areas, particularly where we have individuals who are willing to cheerlead violence against other people, like the former president has on several occasions. So those are the things that we cannot necessarily plan for. I used to say, We were ready for everything but Godzilla. We've got a plan for some new sorts of monsters now. But I trust the folks who run our elections. They are regular Americans just like you and me. They're teachers, they're cops, they're plumbers, they're your next door neighbors, grandparents. They're going to do their level best. And really, when you talk about the big lie, it was against them. It was against regular Americans, particularly here in Arizona, who were just doing their jobs. They're not frauds. They're not cheats. They're not liars. They're just like us. And that was the biggest tragedy, in my view, is that their good work was thrown under the bus by the extremists on the extreme MAGA side of things. They're the ones that got threatened. They're the ones who were dishonored. And I think there is some vindication for them, thankfully, in this indictment.
Patriots are the folks we're talking about, and I'm talking about the folks that administered the election, not the people who tried to overturn it. Secretary Adrian Fontes, thank you very much for your time, sir. Great to see you.
Happy to be here.